Mogul Motivation, educating and empowering entrepreneurs 1 week at a time. Presented by True Stories Media. And I am your host, Antoine Twiz Taylor. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mogul Motivation. Welcome back. If this is your first time listening, this podcast is for the aspiring entrepreneur who's trying to get over that hump and make things happen. This podcast is for anybody with a dream that wants to aspire higher and accomplish that dream. One of my favorite foods is bread. I love bread. I will always try to put bread with any meal if it makes logical sense. I love cornbread. I love toast. I love biscuits, Red Lobster biscuits, Popeyes biscuits. But I hate stale bread. I hate when those biscuits are hard as a rock. You know, I hate molded pieces of toast and bread, things like that. It's terrible. And when we start our businesses as entrepreneurs, or when we go into a certain career field, or when we go to school, we're doing things because we ultimately have passion for it. We're building this business because it makes us happy. We're going after this career because it makes us happy. It brings us great joy. But when that joy and that happiness starts to evaporate because of certain circumstances around us, that's when our bread becomes stale. You know, thanks to Black culture and Ebonics, bread has become synonymous with money and work. You know, I got to make this bread. I got to get this bread. But our bread goes stale when we don't have any joy in our work anymore, because now it feels like a normal 9 to 5, a regular job, you know, those type of jobs that we're trying to escape from. That's why we started this business. That's why we're going after this certain career, because we don't want to work a dead end job where we feel lifeless. But we start to feel lifeless when we're chasing after our dreams. We don't have passion anymore. Our bread has become stale, and we can't let our bread become stale. First of all, think about it this way. When you put bread into an oven, the heat is going to rise, and that's going to make the bread tasty and make it smell good. But in order to get to that stage, you have to go through that intense heat. We know that when we start our businesses and when we go after our new career field, or when we go into a certain career field, when we go into school, we know that it's going to be heat. We know it's going to be a process. We're not going to get it overnight. We know we're going to have to go through a lot of sweat and a lot of blood, a lot of tears. So why do we allow all of those circumstances to take our joy from us when we know what we're getting ourselves into in the first place? Just like when you put in a loaf of bread into the oven. Whether a car is going 5 miles per hour or 50 miles per hour, the point is it's still moving forward. Don't focus on the speed. Don't focus on the distance. Just focus on going forward. And in order to do that, it's 2 things that I learned on my own journey as an entrepreneur on how to do that. We have to be grateful. Number 1, we have to focus on the moment. You know how many people have told me, you know, Twiz, I wish I could do what you're doing. I wish I could be a full-time entrepreneur and just do that all the time. Whenever I feel myself getting frustrated or angry about what's going on in my entrepreneurial journey, I always remind myself of what those people tell me, because it humbles me and it makes me realize that I'm doing something that most people can't do right now. Despite the fact I'm not where I want to be, I'm still doing something that most people can't do. So I have to be grateful and thank God for the moment that I'm in. I have to show gratitude at all times. And that's what we have to do as dream chasers. We have to be grateful for the moment, because we're doing something that somebody else can't do. For whatever reason, they can't do it. They can't be in that situation you're in right now. So be grateful for the opportunity that you have. Be grateful that you're in law school and medical school. Be grateful that you're building this business. Be grateful that you're able to go after your own career. That's number 1. And as a side note, you ever think for a moment that people sometimes don't take your business serious because you don't take your own business serious? You don't even treat your own business like a corporation or LLC or something that's great or something that's going to be great. You don't even treat your own business like that. So why should other people do it? And of course, you're always going to have a few people that's going to hate on you regardless, but don't worry about them. Just think about it from that angle. People don't probably take your business serious because you don't even take yourself serious. Start taking your passion more serious. Start getting that happiness and that joy back by being grateful, by appreciating the opportunities and the moment. That's number 1. Number 2, we have to focus on the future. That bread is going to smell good once it comes out the oven. You started your business, you went into school, you started this career for a reason, because you see yourself in the future at a certain point. Never lose sight of that point. Keep working towards it. Keep going forward. You're going to get there. Like I said, whether it's 5 miles per hour or 50 miles per hour, it don't matter. You're going to get there. Don't lose sight of what you're trying to do. Don't lose sight of your end goal. That's going to get you enthused again. That's going to get your happiness back, your joy back. That's how we avoid stale bread. The Lord's Prayer says it this way: give us this day our daily bread. If we keep our faith, all the tools and resources will be provided for us to accomplish our goals. We have to be grateful, appreciate the moment, and we have to stay focused on our end goal. Don't let your bread go stale, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it fresh. If you feel yourself becoming unhappy, you feel yourself becoming frustrated, you feel yourself being uninspired, that's normal. You're human. But don't stay that way for too long. So let's continue to work. Let's continue to imagine reality and never stop getting that bread. Never stop making that bread. Because we're going to be successful in the end. Have a great day. I'll talk to you next week.